Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to PPL Park and the 2014 CONCACAF Women's Championship semifinals set for tomorrow afternoon here. To begin today's match day -1 activities, we have Trinidad and Tobago coach Randy Waldrum as well as Captain Maylee Attin-Johnson. I'd like to start with a few thoughts from both the coach and the captain, and then we'll take some questions from the members of the press. Coach?
We're just excited to be here. It's such an honor. Really proud of this team to have gotten to this point. And I think, our goal as every team that's come here is to qualify for the World Cup, so we know our job is certainly not done yet at this point. But extremely proud of the way we performed so far. And we know we've got a very difficult match playing the group winners with Costa Rica on Friday. But we'll be up for the challenge. So excited about it.
Maybe, this journey has started for some of us 10 years ago and more, and I think, we as players have sacrificed a whole lot to this point, and I think 2 years ago we realized that, this is our time, and most of us gave up job opportunities as well to prepare for this, and I'm super proud of my players, because we know as players that it's not our right to represent our country, but it's more privilege and honor. And every time we step on that field and hear our national anthem, we go out there and play with all our hearts, with a lot of grit, determination and courage, and come Friday, it's the biggest game of our lives, and we can control our own destiny by winning the game on Friday, and that's exactly what we plan on doing. So yeah.
Question?
Yes. For both of you, and this is sort of like a two-part question. Because you're only one win away from qualifying for the World Cup, what would that mean for you personally, and also for women's soccer in Trinidad?
Personally, that's the dream of any footballer life, is to play in a World Cup. I think you're going to change a lot of our life tremendously. And just to go there and represent our country. And in terms of our team, let me hear the second part of the question.
What would it mean for women's football?
Yeah, it's going to, hopefully with like the 91 US team, hopefully it changed women's football back home like that. We haven't been respected. Women's football haven't been respected in our country. Not a lot of finances or resources are pumped into women's football. So it's been difficult, but I think what this group wants to do is leave a legacy, be the flagship women's football in Trinidad and Tobago. And I think once we accomplish this feat by qualifying for the World Cup, I think it's going to change tremendously. And with a great coach like Randy Waldrum, I think it's going to happen.
I think for me, selfishly, in the beginning, when I took this on, every coach that's worth a grain of salt wants to coach at the highest level, whether that be collegiately, professionally, or with a national team, and I've always wanted to do that. And so when I took this on, my goal was thinking in terms of helping this team qualify and certainly coaching in a World Cup. But I got to be honest with you, once I really took the group on, I fell in love with this team. And right now, what it would mean to me is just seeing what it would do for them. So it's not about me and what it would do for me. It's really, really been, and I can say this from the bottom of my heart, it's really about seeing what it could do for these players that have sacrificed so much. And probably even more importantly, even though this would be huge for these players, but even more importantly for the football back in Trinidad and Tobago and hopefully the rest of the Caribbean countries, is I think it could really help be that spearhead moment that galvanizes women's football.
This question's for both of you guys. When did it become like more of a reality and realistic goal that, hey, we can make this World Cup? When did it start clicking with each of you that, hey, we have a shot?
2 years ago. 2 years ago, because we knew once Canada was out of the mix, that our chances were as good as anyone else, like Mexico, Canada, and Costa Rica. I think we believe that we were the number 1 team in the Caribbean, so we didn't have to worry about Haiti and Jamaica and and that was the mindset from get-go. That's why we sacrificed what we sacrificed, because we knew this is our time. We have over the years came out of always coming out third, and it's because we had either US and Mexico in one group or Canada and Mexico in one group, so which was difficult. Costa Rica always got the better grouping. So I think for us, we believed 2 years ago that when we heard how the format is now with 3.5 spots, from then we knew once we put everything behind it and into being committed and dedicated to this cause, we knew we would have had a great opportunity to attain our dream.
Charlie, for me, it was there's probably 2 moments that I really first realized that I thought this could happen is, we had them in training camp in Houston for a week or so before the CFUs, and to watch the performance of the team in the CFUs, I knew there was enough talent, that we could qualify. I think the key was, could I in a short amount of time get us organized enough, playing the way I felt we should play, that gives us the best chance to qualify. So that was kind of the first moment. And the second moment for me, and I know I see Tony sitting in the room here and he can relate to this as a coach, but when we're sitting there watching the Haiti game, and to see it go from being a game that we got kind of completely in control, and then things start to go south in the second half, with the tempo that they came out with, and then the ejection, and now we've got 30 minutes to hang on. For a moment as a coach, you're sitting on their sideline and you're just going, I'm seeing this thing slip out of our hands, of some things that are in our control, some things that aren't in our control, and then to just see this team fight through that and last 30 minutes and hang on, we cleared a ball or 2 off the line, and we missed a couple of chances to go up by a second goal off of a counter, and just when I saw it at the end and I saw all those things kind of come together and unfold, and that we survived that and won, I said, then something special is going on here. So kind of 2 moments for me, but the talent has never been a question.
I got here a couple of minutes late, so I apologize if you've been asked about this already. There were some reports that you guys are in line for a bonus, players and coaching staff from Trinidad. Is that true, or what do you have to do to get it? What do you know about it?
Well, I can probably address that the best I know how it will work. I got an email from the Federation yesterday saying that they secured some bonuses for the players already for what we've achieved getting out of the group. And it was approved by the ministry, and so that looks very promising. And you well know, we've talked before of the plight of this team and what they've gone through, and this is the first time ever in the history of women's football that any of the players are going to receive any kind of funds from the Federation. So I'm really thankful to both the Federation and to the Ministry of Sport for seeing what these guys have done, and to be rewarded for it. So we got some great news yesterday. Yes, absolutely.
So Randy, they're getting a bonus for getting out of group.
Right.
And then obviously a big bonus to qualify. And is that from the Ministry of Sport, or is that from the government?
The Ministry of Sport is part of the government, so it's coming from.
So it's beyond the Federation.
It goes beyond the Federation. Yeah, I think what you do is you have the way it kind of it works over there politically is you have your Federation in kind of fighting and asking asking for the funding and so forth. And I think the Ministry of Sport is the part of the government that oversees all sport in the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. So Dr. Griffith is the one that I guess finally got that pushed through. So, I think the thing that we shared with Maylee and the team yesterday as we talked about it is, it's great that they've stepped up and done this, the bonus money for getting out of the groups. And I think, hopefully there's been no discussion beyond that, but hopefully, if we make this dream come a reality and qualify, that there will be more in line for us as we move forward. So we're extremely excited about that news that came out.
Coach, I know you said you was doing this for the ladies and team, but Trinidad and Tobago women's team first ever women team qualifying for World Cup. What does it mean to you?
Well, as a coach, that's a great question. I'm just really proud of the accomplishment. I think what makes us successful in any walk of life really is, you know, what we're made of, our competitive nature and so forth. And I'm stopped playing many years ago, so the way I get my fix now is competing as a coach and preparing. So it means a lot to me because I feel like I've had a small part of the success of this team qualifying. So certainly the competitive side of me wants to see us continue to move forward and to reach the next step. So it means an awful lot to me personally too, to see that something that I've been a part of and that I've been able to have. I would hope Maylee and the players feel like I have had some input and some effect on the success of the team. But really, when it comes down to it, we all know as coaches, it can't be done if you don't have the players, and if you don't have the players that believe in, you know, what I'm trying to get them to. If I came in and I tried to change things, and they didn't believe in what I'm trying to ask them to do, this wouldn't happen. So I've got to sit here and say, deflect the credit from me, and let's put it where it belongs, and that's on the players.
We could take one more if we have.
For Randy, from the under-17 team that you had coached, how many are on this particular team? And in general, how has Trinidad football, women's football, progressed since you took on the under-17 team?
Well, I got to think a minute. Maylee may can help me with this. I know Mariah Shea. Probably 5 or 6 of the players that are here now are players. You know, we found Aaron King kind of as we were searching for the foreign-based players at the time, and I think a couple of things have changed since then. Obviously, the game has grown. That team was not really prepared to qualify. You know, we had 3 months with that team, and the level of the talent at the time, just at the end of the day, wasn't good enough. So this team is certainly much better talent-wise, which I think shows the growth over the last 6 years of women's football in the country and the work that these guys have put in. So I do think, and I've been told this many times, that this is probably the best group that's come out of the islands as a team before as well. But I think also the mindset has changed a little bit from my first go-around, because in the first go-around with the U17s, I had a group that it's a very political country, and I had a group that wanted me to go get the best team and qualify the team. And then there was another faction that didn't want me to go get the foreign-based players. So there were a lot of frictions back then. And now, right now, everybody's on board of going qualify. They've seen what Mexico's been doing. They've seen what the other countries have been doing. That right now, because of where we are with women's football in the islands of Trinidad and Tobago, we need a broader base to be selecting players from. So the mindset also has changed a little bit, and that could be due to the different regimes that are running our federation as well. But it's been night and day in terms of the growth. And I think there's big strides to still be made. We're not close to being there. Most people don't realize these young ladies, if you listen to their stories, they didn't start playing organized football until they were 12, 13, 14 years old. And so everything up to that point was kind of just kicking around with their brothers, you know, and on the streets and PE classes. And so those things have to change before we really get the grassroots developing the kind of talent that we want to in Trinidad.
Thanks, Coach. Really looking forward to tomorrow. Trinidad and Tobago is now going to practice at 4:30. The first 15 minutes are open, and then the USA press conference is at 5 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.